Hello and welcome to another edition of Cadence Fishing TV. An unusual one, this one. You're joining me today at the inaugural Northern River Masters qualifying match on the River Ouse below York. It's been an eventful morning. We've invited Chappie along and I get a phone call an hour before the match saying he's on his way back home, so I thought, well, that's the end of it today. He'd forgotten his cameras, but he has been under the weather a bit, so we'll forgive him for that. Anyways, it turns out he hasn't missed much, and I think this is going to be a short video because we're 4 hours into the match and I've had one bite off one proper fish, and you'll probably see the footage. If Chappie hadn't fallen asleep, we might have it on camera that I've landed a bream about 4 pound. So we're all getting a bit excited because at the moment the match is not fishing as well as it has been because we've got rising river, there's a lot of lingy colouring, so the fish really aren't feeding, smaller fish especially. And one lad who's been walking the bank told me half an hour ago that 4 pound, 5 pound was a good weight in my section. So that bream has catapulted me into that bracket, but I feel I probably still need another one, maybe two. And looking at my watch, we've got 3/4 of an hour to try and snare one. I've had a few tommies and a few little perch, only a couple. I'm fishing a double worm and double maggot now. I'm going for it for the bream. But the bites I've had are just little rattles on the tip. And unlike last week when I had a really good day, I weighed 30 pound in last week in a match. But the bite that I had for the bream, totally out of the blue. I just poured myself a cup of coffee, looked up, and one tiny little indication, and then a typical drop back bite. Rod down, slack line, lifted up, and I had a big bream on. And as you'll probably see in the footage, it was a eureka moment and it made us very happy, I'll tell you. Today we've got 40 pegs. Well, it's a 40 peg match, these qualifiers, and I've drawn just next to the A64 bridge, just downstream of it, 2 pegs downstream. On a low river, it's really a good area for small fish, skimmers and roach and things like that, because it's a little bit shallower than a lot of the other pegs. The bream tend to live down towards the palace where it's a bit deeper, and back towards town up at Fulford, so I'm in a bit of a no man's area. And I think last week the match, this section, was won with £4 something, so shows you how hard it was when everybody was averaging £7 a man last week. Anyway, we're going to carry on, and hopefully we'll get another pull or two before they're all out at 4 o'clock. With a bit of luck we might do enough to qualify, but at the moment I'm not in that position, I don't think, because we're competing against better pegs above me on the bottom or the top end of my section, which are on the sandbed, and that's where generally the section winner for this section comes from. There's about 2 or 3 good pegs there which always produce some skimmers, and from what I've heard, the lad on the first peg on the sandbed, he's had 2 or 3 skimmers, so I still need another one, probably 2 bream if I'm going to qualify. The whole competition that I'm one of the organisers, along with Chris Gowling and Kevin Whale, we've been thinking about it long and hard over the last couple of years, because there really is not a big river competition for the northern lads on the river circuit. So we got together about 12 months ago and came up with a similar idea to Riverfest really, but about half the size. We've got 40 peg qualifiers with 4 people, 4 anglers qualifying from each match. So you're fishing against 9 other people, a 10 peg section, so you're in with a good chance of qualifying, and it's another big money event for us to fish for. It's guaranteed £5,000 for the winner, so it's taken a lot of hard work and a lot of thought and organisation to get it off the ground, but today's our first match and everything went really well at the draw. Bearing in mind we're in the middle of the coronavirus and all the restrictions that go with it, so everybody's sort of adhered to social distancing, and it's worked really well at the draw. So all tickets are pretty much sold out. We've got an odd spare one, and there will be spare tickets come up available as people qualify who've got multiple tickets, so it's well worth having a look on the website or on Facebook just to see if you can get on, or even put your name down as a reserve, because if you go down as a reserve and there's a place comes up, we'll give you a call and you'll get a ticket that way. So it's all run pretty efficiently, and it's sponsored mainly by Cadence, who are backing us up to the hilt with it, so very pleased for that, and thank you Cadence for that, because without them we probably wouldn't have got it off the ground like it has done. And also Evolved Baits, who are sponsoring us as well, and they'll be supplying prizes and everything for the final. Final is in March next year and on the River Tees. So that should be a good event, as the dace and roach are aplenty on the Tees in March usually, but we'll wait and see on that one. But as for today, it's been pretty slow for me, but my main concern today was getting everything off to a good start as far as the match is concerned. So I'm happy with the way that's gone, and extremely happy that I've got a bream to show on the camera. And Chappie's gone from nearly asleep to a big grin on his face now, because he's actually got something to do. He's got out of his chair and he's doing a bit of filming, so all in all it's worked out quite well. in that respect. And if you're really lucky, second prize is going to be one of those magnificent yachts that you've just seen go past. We see quite regular on the Ouse here, so all in all it's well worth entering this competition. No promises about the yacht, but promises about the funds that's available. There you go, last chuck, Tommy. Not the bream we were looking for, but at least we got a fish. Are you ready, Pat? Yep. A good bit of social distancing. Oh, Tommy in there. Cheers, Pat. Just put it in here, Pat, for me, just so I get a picture of it. Well, it's been a tough day. I've had the one bite, one bream. It weighed £3.14, something like that. But onwards and upwards, on to the next qualifier, which will be the Swale in a fortnight. Right, we're back in the car park now after today's match. As you'll have seen with the video earlier, it wasn't such an eventful day for me, just that one bream. And Chappie forgetting his cameras didn't help with our concentration and him falling asleep. But he's getting better. Anyway, we had the match, we've got 4 qualifiers, and I'm here at the moment with the winner, Dean Grace. Dean, you was pegged on the Palace, I believe. What peg?
I was on peg 15, Paul.
Yeah. Is that near the Palace? Anywhere near the
just
Palace?
above the Palace. Peg just above it.
Not a bad area then.
No, a decent area to be, yes. Yeah.
And so Dean was on peg 15 above the Palace. It's a noted area. It's a bit deeper up there and a bit slacker really, because the river was rising today. And what were your tactics? Just talk us through your tactics, Dean, so we have a chance next time.
Yeah, I just set feeder rods up for it and just open end feeder, fished it with worm or 3 maggots. Just used their pro bream ground bait. Fished just beyond middle.
Right.
And
did you have many particles? Did you feed many particles?
I just put a bit of corn in, a bit of castor, worm, pinkies, you know, just general stuff.
Corn, that's an interesting one. Did you try it on the hook?
I didn't bother, no. I didn't. I tried it last week and it didn't work last week, and I caught a few on maggot today, so I mainly stuck with maggot, to be fair.
So it seems like a good tactic then, done well today. What was your catch consisting of? What fish did you have?
I had 4 bream and 5 skimmers and a perch.
Perch, that made all the difference. Well, thanks Dean, and you'll be looking forward to the final next March on the tees. Do you know anything about the tees?
I don't know much about it at all now.
So Dean's off home now, and then over the next week or 2 or month he'll be practicing on the tees, so we look forward to seeing him in the final, and good luck in that final, Dean.
Cheers, thanks ever so much, Paul.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and thanks for watching, guys.